Hello, Misfit Entrepreneurs. This is Dave Lukas, and welcome to another episode of the Misfit Entrepreneur, where it is our job to help you unleash your inner misfit and break through to higher levels of success, wealth, and fulfillment by bringing you the best insight and information from the world's top entrepreneurs, with a specific focus on their misfit side, the specific traits, habits, and secrets that have allowed them to thrive and succeed. As a reminder, if you're new to watching us on our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button below. Give this video a like and comment as well. We do our best to respond to all comments as timely as possible. I wanted to do one of my special shorter solo episodes this week to talk about something that I've mentioned a number of times on the show and something that most people overlook. And that's sitting down to ask themselves, what do I truly want? I've had more people reaching out, asking me more recently for my thoughts on how they can better design their life, find true meaning, and really purpose for themselves. And I think people are really starting to realize that too often we chase results without really knowing our own core values. And if you're not clear on what you believe in, you're not really going to get what you truly want, right? So in this episode, we're going to really dive deep into how building your own very own personal operating system can change your life. And we're going to look at why knowing your core values and principles matters, but also going to take you through kind of how I built mine. I'm going to give you a simple 5-step process that you can do so that you can do this for yourself. The problem is that most people don't know what they want. Because they don't know what they want, they don't get what they want, right? So let's be honest. Most people never take the time to pause and reflect on what truly matters to them. They're so busy chasing success that they really never ask, like, what do I really want? What am I willing to stand for? And without a clear set of core principles, we often end up reacting to life rather than really taking control and directing it, right? I've seen it time and time again. People spin their wheels because they haven't defined what success means for them. It's like trying to navigate without a compass. And what's really exactly that's why developing a personal operating system, right? A clear, actionable framework for living your life is really a game changer that fixes all of this. And so I want to share a little bit about my personal operating system that I've crafted over the years. It's a set of 10 core principles that serve as really my North Star. And they're more than just words. They're commitments that I've made to myself, my family, the businesses, the people that I work with every single day. Here's just a snapshot of some of them. So lead with relentless integrity and discipline. So every action, every decision should reflect who you truly are, even when no one is watching. And I reinforce this daily with a 3-minute just integrity check, usually before bed at night. Family and faith, the ultimate priorities. Nothing matters if you're not present for the ones you love or grounded in your core beliefs. And so I make sure to reflect on these each week, ensuring that my schedule prioritizes what really counts. Grit over comfort. Play the long game. Resilience is built on the struggle. And playing the long game is how you get lasting success. And I start my day typically with what would some call like a morning grit routine, but a lot of I'm an endurance athlete and all that. So that typically includes some really intense workout, maybe several hours, sauna, cold showers or cold plunge, deep thinking to challenge myself and set the tone for the day. And so I choose grit over comfort and continue to push myself out of my comfort zone as much as I can to push the boundaries and capabilities that I have. Master your mind, master your life. It's another one. Controlling your thoughts helps to shape your outcomes. Every day, I take moments to reframe those challenges that come into my life, whatever they may be, into the opportunities that they really are. Another one, take decisive action and own the risks. I've learned that really hesitation is the enemy of progress. So a weekly action audit helps me really identify where I've held back and where I need to push further. But I own it. I take responsibility for it. And there's more, but each core principle comes with kind of its own specific habit that reinforces it. And these aren't really just lofty ideas. They're actionable steps that help me stay aligned with who I want to be. And the hard truth is, as I said, is most people don't get what they want because they haven't taken time to really know themselves, or they don't want to really know themselves. That's the scary thing for them. They don't want to get real with who they are and have to confront and deal with some of the things that they may have to deal with to really take themselves to a new level, right? they haven't asked the tough questions or dug deep enough to discover what their personal truth is. And in the end, there's only one truth, right? It's not somebody else's truth or your truth, or it just is the truth. So when you don't define what you truly believe in, you let external forces, other people's opinions, market trends, societal expectations, literally dictate your path. You give away your ultimate personal power to someone or something else. Think about it. If you don't know your core values, how do you decide which opportunities to pursue? How do you know when to say no to things? Without that foundation, you're constantly shifting, always trying to catch up instead of moving forward with intention. And so to help you with this, I've kind of looked at how I do my own operating system and how I've kind of boiled it down over the years. And I want to help you create your own personal operating system. So I want to give you a straightforward, really 5-step process that you can start using really today and take these steps to help you clarify what you want and set up those daily habits to support your vision. So step number 1, identify your core values. Shocker, right? But start by listing out what your core values and principles that really resonate with you are. What are those non-negotiables in your life? So for me, things like integrity, family, grit, mastery of mind, taking decisive action, those things are really, core to me, right? And I didn't get there off the bat, right? You want to write down 5 to 10 values that you feel are really essential to you, but question them boldly. As I said, I didn't get there right off the bat, right? You have to ask yourself why these are your core values and core to you. You have to really challenge yourself, because many times, and this happened with me, the first things that you write down are not the real ones. They're not the real core values. They're the ones that you really haven't chosen on your own, but they've been placed on you over time. They, get to where, you're not sure and stuff. You really have to get to that point where you can say to yourself, I and I alone have chosen these core values and principles based on deep thought and consideration, and it's my choice. It's not being put there by somebody else. Now, you may get great ideas from mentors in your life and family and people like that. That's great. Use them, but make sure that it's truly your choice in the end. Step number 2, then define what they mean to you. So once you've identified your core values, take the next step by identifying them in your own words. Ask yourself questions like, for example, if like integrity is a core value, like what does integrity look like in my day-to-day life? What does it mean to me, right? Really get detailed, go 3, 4, 5 levels deep, right? How do I want it to show up in my life? How do I want it to show up in my family? What does it mean when times get tough? How do I handle and make sure I keep my integrity, right? You want to write down a few sentences like that for each value and really challenge to what it means. And then step 3 is you create those reinforcing habits, right? You turn those values into action. So for each core value, create a daily or weekly habit that reinforces it. So for example, I use a nightly 1% improvement journal and a Sunday purpose review to keep my values front and center with me, right? And then step 4 is to set up a reflection routine. So regularly review your progress. I dedicate 15 to 30 minutes every single Sunday. Doesn't take long to reflect on, whether I lived in alignment with my values. I read them and I ask myself, how did I do this week, right? Did I live out my values this week? Where can I improve? What did I learn? How do I get better, right? Because that's part of that, grit over comfort, constantly improving yourself. And then step 5 is to commit and execute, right? You want to commit your process and you want to execute it daily. Write it down as a personal contract. Remember, these values are the foundation of your decisions. So consistent execution on them really builds momentum over time, back to playing the long game again. And as a bonus step, once you've got your values and the details around them down, you can then use an AI engine like ChatGPT or Grok to help you formulate them out and even help you with better refining like your weekly and your daily processes and operating systems. If you resonate with a great thinker or personal growth expert, you can even tell the tool to act like them and ask you clarifying questions. I actually recently did this, a lot of fun. I had ChatGPT do a run through on my personal operating system in the way that Tony Robbins would approach it, and ask me questions around that. And it gave me some great insight and really helped improve my daily and my weekly routine. So use those tools to really help you get it right. And then I can say this, you bring it all together and then it's action, right? I've seen these steps work wonders in my own life. When I'm tempted to compromise on, integrity, my daily integrity check reminds me of who I am. When business decisions become overwhelming, right? My weekly audit guides me to act decisively. These are just aren't abstract ideas. They're literally practical strategies that have helped me navigate personal, professional challenges and succeed time and time again through the different efforts that I take in the different areas of my life. And so here's the challenge to you. Take some time this week to sit down, unplug from all the noise, get real quiet. In fact, if you got to leave the house or whatever, get to a place where you have no distractions, right? And build your own personal operating system. Use the 5 steps that I've outlined to identify your core values, define what they really mean, right? Create those reinforced habits, set up a reflection routine, and commit to executing them daily. And I'll kind of leave you with this. When you know what you stand for, you'll make decisions that lead you directly to what you want. You'll stop reacting and you'll start leading. And if you're ready to dive deeper, reach out on social media, drop me an email. Let me know how this is going for you. I'd love to hear how, you're building your personal operating system. Leave a comment under this video. And lastly, I can say thank you for tuning in. Remember, knowing what you want begins with knowing yourself. So stay true, stay disciplined, and keep being unapologetically you, a true misfit. Thanks for tuning in.